What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. This old tranny here came in for a lubricant oil leak, and no, not from there. Leaking oil from the front crank seal. First time I've ever had to do one on a Transit. I want to show you guys the procedure to do so. However, the workshop manual says to take the fan off, and yeah, well, I'm gonna give myself a little bit more room and visual access for you all to see. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the whole front clip of this vehicle. I'm gonna drain the coolant, evac the AC, and just peel everything apart so that I can be perpendicular to the crank seal and be able to get that special tool to remove and install that crank seal correctly. So let me know in the comment section if you guys have ever had to replace a crank seal front or back on a Transit 3.2 liter Puma. And yeah, all right, well guys, here we go. All right, you guys can see got the whole front end zipped off. It was no big deal. Take out both headlights. You got some clips, bolt, clips holding the top plastic piece of the fascia on. You got some bolts underneath. This one was broken. Somebody had put some self-tapping screws in it, so you got some fasteners to remove underneath. You come to the side of the vehicle, and there's two clips right here you have to take out so you can peel this whole trim piece off. Once you do that, there's a 10 mil bolt on both sides coming through this hole into the fascia. And then lastly, when the fascia is on, right here is a plastic bracket that has two screws in it. Those two screws go right here. So a little electric ratchet, you can go down behind the fascia and zip those out. And then this guy had a light bar on the front. There's two plastic caps that hide these bolts behind the fascia. Two plastic caps are behind here. Sometimes they have a license plate bracket, and that's a real pain to get off. You'll have to drill these rivets out for whoever installed the license plate bracket. So once you get that off, you pop these two caps off. It allows you to get these two big bolts holding the front of the fascia on. And dang, look at that, number one, baby. I want a 2020 King Ranch. And then the fascia just pulls right off. So like I said, I'm evacuating the AC. I'm gonna drain most of the coolant. I'm gonna try to catch it all to reuse it. But this is a 16 with 70,000 miles on it. And yeah, so we're gonna take this small arky out. This plastic whole core supporter piece, no big deal. Got a couple bolts here, a couple bolts up here, and then that whole front plastic clip will come out. So, all right, continuing. All right, so this is pretty much how I wanted to end up after taking that black core support off. That allowed me to access the radiator, and pretty much after disconnecting the AC lines, that gave me even more room. I pretty much just leaned everything towards the driver's side. Didn't drain the coolant. It worked out quite nice, to be honest with you. Pretty sturdy. Got it propped up on here some wood, and we're now going to try to go for removal of this crank pulley. And there's really no special tools other than to take out all three bolts. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. Got my 15 milli. We'll go ahead and rip these torque to yield. Can't reuse these bolts. Alright, Alright, sweet. Yeah. Okay. Where'd that one go? There we go. Okay. Alright. Alright, you can see how nasty this front crank seal is. It's been leaking for a while. Check that out. Man. Really liquidy underneath. This is what he was complaining about, was an oil leak. And also the cac ducts. They're all nasty too. Got a, looks like a little perforation maybe at the top, but I'm gonna replace that for him. Okay, so now we're going to be installing this special tool. I've never used this before, so you guys are going to learn with me. Let's take a look at the new one. Okay, this is a new seal. Got a little plastic insert for installation. But yeah, so we're gonna try to figure this out. Let's see how this goes on here. I see 3 little holes. Doesn't really give you that good of info in the shop manual. Gosh, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Has anybody else done this before? I can't imagine that we're just gonna twist this thing out, are we? I don't know, I might need 2 hands for this. Oh, I want to say too, once you take the crank pulley off, don't forget to remove this. This was sitting on here like this. And it popped out sitting on here like this. Sorry about that. So yeah, don't lose that. Goes on between the crank and the crank pulley and the crank. Alright, so I'm going to line these holes up. Oh, maybe it only goes on one way. Oh, my shit's in too far. Alright. I don't know what in the heck. Pretty weird. Alright, we're gonna redo it. Okay, so let's see if we can bust this fricker loose. Oh. She in there. Oh my god. Maybe I should try just like popping it. Like, now them feet wanna. What if I lose the extension and just use the ratchet? Let's try that. Still pretty tight. Dang. Okay. I got a longer flex head. Work smarter, not harder. I think I got it. Quarter turn, 90-degree turn crank seal. Never done before. So yeah, now the funny part is, I guess, trying to get this little guy out. Actually kind of cool. I wish the Super Duties were like that. It's kind of neat. I don't like these engines, but I'll have to say, for the first time I'm doing a crank seal, that's not that bad. Well, look at that. Come on, puppy. I'll be a son of a gun. Look at that, man. That's pretty fresh. I dig it. I dig it. I don't know. Looks like don't know if that was for me, but that may have been where it was leaking. Yeah, that would have been the bottom. Yeah, so there's the crank seal. Let me clean this up and we'll throw it back in. Alright, so here's the new seal. It's got this plastic little inner installer that's going to push out once you push this on. So we got a slot at 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 12 o'clock. These 3 holes, we're going to line them up into that exact position. We put a little bit of oil here on the crank nose. Kind of push this right off of the installer and onto the crank, just like that. You guys see that? Here's that middle piece. It's got a little ridge for the front of the nose to sit on. So that's pretty much as far on as it's gonna go. I don't really see how anybody's gonna do this without this special tool. Okay. Just go until it stops. I can feel it getting snug. Okay, that's it right there. That is how you install a crank seal on a 3.2 Puma diesel Powerstroke in your Transit 15 to pretty much current model year. If anybody wants to tell me if they've done one, drop me a like and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. If anybody's had to replace their front or rear crank seal on their Transit diesel. Alright, we'll see you next Friday. Thanks for watching.